Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Northwest Austin Lighthouse. So we are in the middle of the central area of the house. The main part of the house is kitchen. We call it the heart of the house. So, this is the parlor, and it flows into the living room. So it's the main part of the house where we welcome everybody in.
Okay, we're in the living room right now, and everything that you see on the walls in here is self-produced by us. In fact, everything you see on the walls in the house in general is self-produced by Natalia and I. The piece you're looking at right now, the large light sculpture on that side, was a 6-month project, and took a lot of time and took a lot of patience. Natalia is the sculpture artist, and these pieces in here represent 2 of the seasons, the one on the right being spring and the one on the left being winter.
Okay, those 3 pieces actually, they different in time, absolutely painted and created in different times. So the portrait, the nude portrait that you see on the wall, it's a portrait of 2001. It's a self-portrait. So the ballerina piece on the wall, it's just a clay piece that I created probably in 2009 or something like that. And it has several pieces, so it has a couple more ballerinas. Right now it's just arranged differently. So, but it should be like a 4-piece sculpture. So we do have the remaining 3 pieces, and they're just displayed in different places. So the winter piece is as well as a 4-piece work. So it's a seasons. So this is a winter season, and we have as well fall and spring right now. We're working on summer. So a lot of work in process, like this central piece right now, it's just recently came out of the kiln. It's a recent work, it's not painted yet. It's just ceramic, white ceramic piece at this point. But eventually, I hope it will be painted. So it's just a new piece. So a lot of work, like I said, in the process. This house always changes. There's always transformation of art in this house.
Exactly.
And we have so many different ways of displaying it. So we like to move it around. So this is not the only way we have it set. So this house kind of like have that natural flow of space and also moving around art pieces.
So this was an idea that we had about 2015, was it, Tosh? To embellish the wall, because we had this giant wall and we wanted to do something with it. So we looked at some different things. Both of us have had ideas about doing a project with wood offset from the wall at different stain levels. So we started off with that idea, came up with a design, came up with the ability to actually make the cuts and carpenter the wood out the way we wanted it. And then we looked at it, and it was not lit at that time, and I said, gee, it would be great if we could light this place up like the outside of the house is. So we went ahead and worked with Lights Fantastic, and got a lighting coordinator in here to help us basically figure out how to light it from behind. And they were really fantastic to work with, and it was easy. Actually, the lighting part was probably the easiest part. The entire project took about 6 months to complete.
That's amazing.
So it was an effort and patience as well as artistic endurance and endeavor.
Yeah, I bet. Tell me a little bit, I'll go over here. Tell me a little bit about this stained glass window.
Mom, you want to take that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Actually, it was one of the first artwork that appeared in this house, and we went from this piece actually. So this piece was the first one that was installed in a 1967 old house. And we actually loved it, and we decided that we're gonna go and work from this piece and expand. So everything kind of was born from these pieces. So this 2, and then one little one in the corner stained glass piece appeared.
And interestingly, the way we see these windows is that each one represents our sons. We have 3 sons. And
3
each
swords.
one represents, the 3 swords represent our 3 sons.
Awesome.
And they're
So
different.
we drew
characters.
design, we created design, and we put it together with original, basically 1500s 1500s style, or,
Yeah.
or not style, but technology of doing stained glass.
Right, the
windows.
Renaissance style of stained glass
So
using lead.
it's original technology. We cut the glass, hand cut a lot of it. This painting, I don't know. I had the big paintings that my husband bought me, and he said,
Canvas.
Natasha, big canvases.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, big canvases. My husband bought me, and he said, Natalia, come on, keep painting. And that was the first one I picked up, empty blank piece of canvas, and I decided what I'm gonna do. I didn't know what. I decided I love lilacs bush flower. You know,
Lilac
this
flowers,
is
yeah.
flowers that usually on the bush. Incredible smell. I grew up with that, and I wanted to paint lilacs, and that's what came out from the idea, just to paint lilacs. So the lady came out, the water came out, the crystals I'm still working on, so it's just a creative process.
And you two tell me a little bit of how long have you lived here, and what did this look like when you moved in?
Beige.
White
Beige,
walls,
the entire
a lot of
place.
small,
Oh, no.
boxy
Boring.
rooms with white walls and
This was its own room
tiny
right over
rooms.
here.
A lot of
So we
hallways.
killed these walls right here, knocked them out. This was a dining room. What you're looking at right there, about a month ago, there was a wall there as well.
Oh, wow.
Separated the kitchen out, so that's been knocked out. Looking down this area here, when you see that dining room back there, that was actually a bedroom. We kicked the wall out there. Essentially what we've done in this house is destroy the hall. We destroyed the hallway
Hallways,
by
yeah.
taking the hallway space back and adding it into different rooms.
All right, let's go to the kitchen. And the kitchen's still a little bit in the process, as you see. We're adding some pieces here. We added this counter recently. The work will be continued on that with stain. And those cabinets also, we designed it in the past, and we're adding some more stuff over the cabinet because we lifted the ceiling. A lot of work
We
has been
destroyed
done.
walls
We
again.
destroyed old walls again. So all these cabinets were created by us and built
Yeah.
by us. So it's all our ideas, and we just finished the look with just extra pieces that will hopefully will tie it all together.
Our whole idea was to preserve some of the aspects of 1967, okay, in the room while at the same time opening it. The ceiling used to be like this high.
Oh, wow.
And this was the wall right here that went into this room, and there was a doorway here.
This tiny kitchen.
That over there is the back, that used to be the hallway. I told you before,
Right
we
here was
destroyed the
another
hallway in
wall,
this house.
so you
Yeah.
will not tell anymore, but there
So
was
we
a
built,
hallway.
where the stove is, that was the bathroom door. And where the cabinets are, is just, there was enough room in the wall to build into it and put the cabinetry in.
And tell me a little bit, people love kitchens. So tell me a little bit about how'd you guys learn to do the cabinets and the woodworking? And that seems like such a
This is
opposite.
This
We
woodworking,
designed
yeah.
it.
Okay.
Design it,
Very
we
cool.
do it for carpenters, and
Very
we
cool.
hire good carpenters,
Yeah.
and they
Awesome.
do it for us. But we design it. It's our idea to install the stained glass. It's our idea, the sizes of the stained glass. It's
Yeah, we
our
cut the glass
ideas
and all that.
of the cabinets,
Wow.
the shapes and stuff like that.
Right.
And like John said, we preserved the granite. We preserved all the granite, and we're adding the wood to the granite. This is already has the addition wood to the granite.
Yeah.
It's already painted,
This is,
stained. This one is new.
Granite, the granite came from Marble Falls, from the same quarry that they quarried the Capitol out of. So it was sort of like, gosh, I mean, how do you tear that down? You
Cabinets
don't, right?
incredibly deep. Look at this deep cabinets. Everybody
There
likes
you go.
kitchen.
Everybody likes kitchens.
Everybody
This is our-
likes kitchen. Incredible.
This is all drugs, by the
Deep,
way. Actually
spices.
spices.
Really good deep cabinets.
Yes,
So basically,
that's amazing.
very good job again of the carpenters. Carpenters did an incredible job for us again.
Yeah.
The biggest thing about this kitchen, you see the way the windows come together now. Okay, when that wall was there before, it completely blocked out all this wonderful light that was coming in all these windows. So when we took the wall out, I mean, instantly it just lit the entire, like, two
Brightened up
rooms up,
everything.
much better than they'd ever been lit before. So lighting is a real problem in this house, to be straight with you.
And look at the
Lighting
view from
properly.
kitchen. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the very secret place where all the art is created. So behind this mirror, there is a secret door. Let's go.
Oh.
Here we go.
So that's where the art happens.
After you. This is the
So
workshop.
come on in.
It's clean because you're here.
It's studio. that
Normally
we produce
it looks
art
like a
here.
studio on a normal daily
Yeah, we
basis.
produce art in the studio, and we teach art lessons as well.
Oh, wow. How could people find you to sign up for art lessons?
Natasha'sArtSchool.com.
Very cool.
Natasha'sArtSchool.com.
You heard that, folks at home. We'll make sure we put a link up to
I
that.
have children from 2 years old, 2.5, that we do play with, and I have adult students, 19 years old, and even 40 years old students. But mainly children.
Yeah.
Mainly children.
The little ones, the 2.5, 3 up to 5 years old,
Yeah.
they get a lot of like
This is
motor skill
kids.
and coordination out of doing the sculpture.
This is kids sculpture.
Wow.
5-year-old
That's very impressive.
The boat is that boy's 5,
Five-year-old,
right? Yeah,
of
he's
course, I'm
5. Yeah.
helping all of them, but
Yeah.
we create a lot of stuff.
Right.
We make a lot of beautiful pieces. Kids love when pieces get finished and fired in the kiln. They become white. You see the dinosaur
Don't
there.
miss the dinosaur.
Don't miss the
Oh, yeah. We'll get back in there
It's
for
actually
the.
one of my
5-year-old
favorite pieces.
creation.
No, that's great.
So, and the white pieces, all the white ceramic pieces, this is my pieces.
Yeah, these guys up here.
All this, the
All this
Capite
sculpture,
and
this
all
guy.
the sculptures. This is all my pieces, and this is prompts basically for art classes. Different prompts for art
For
classes.
sketching.
For sketching,
For
yeah,
sketching.
I'm teaching based on reality.
Actually, there's a sketch in
Yeah,
progress right there.
There's a beautiful sketch in progress. Yeah.
Over here on this side.
This is the piece. And this
There's
is
the piece
beautiful
and the lady, she's an adult is working
adult
on that.
student.
It's amazing.
It's
Yeah,
amazing
she's
3D
doing an
effect.
incredible job with it. So,
Mhm.
please.
That's adult art, the adult student. Uh-huh. So,
So Diana on the wall there, that's a piece that Natalia did, I think in 2016, right?
I don't remember, I
2015?
think it might have a year
Yeah.
written on that. It's also for study purposes for my students to draw and study.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Proportions. This is objects also, I'm collecting different shapes for students to learn and draw and have fun with different objects.
It's a Turkish samovar in the middle, it's for tea. It's
No, in the
tea.
middle it's Russian samovar.
That's a Russian samovar, I beg your
Of course,
pardon.
that's a Russian, that's a Turkish one.
That's a Turkish one, yeah. But it's for making tea with hot coals.
Oh, wow.
So
Very
you drop hot
cool.
coals in there and fill the reservoir up and it heats up, not for indoor use.
It takes some time.
And have you both always been kind of creative growing up? Is it something all of a sudden you were 25 and you got creative? Explain a little bit of that.
As long as I remember myself, my parents were very creative. My papa was an artist and he was a glass blower. And I grew up in an artistic family. John is just like loves art, supports art.
I'm an artist in my
So,
own
and
right,
I
so-
grew up, basically, I started drawing seriously at the age of 11. That's where I already went to study art seriously.
Yeah.
And from that age, I went through all the art schools possible, one of the best in the world. And I finished university and got master's degree in architecture.
Very
So
cool.
I like visual arts, and I do like to work with my students.
It's awesome. And how about you?
I guess artistically, I started off as a musician, guitar and drums, because I wanted to meet girls. Then I joined the Air Force and kind of got a little bit stymied on that level for a while because it was difficult to be deployed and go places and maintain like a presence in a band. So when I retired, I kept going into musical work and things like that. I met Natalia. All that time, I kind of had an interest in art, but I never felt like I was good enough to actually produce anything. And I met Natalia in 2006, and she looked at some of the art that I had kind of scribbled and done with some crazy media like crayons and things like that. And she said it was okay. She said it was actually, John, that's not bad. So she kind of inspired me, which you'll see later on in some of my works. She inspired me to go full on expression and kind of get a lot of things that were troubling me in my past out on canvas.
So let's go further. That's all.
Oh, you don't want to talk about art?
So, this is our entrance. Yes, this is our entrance door, and this is John expression. Here we go, the one we talked about.
It's
a lot of
name of
finger
this is
work
Sangre de
here.
Cristo.
But this is a little bit my little touches on that
Yeah,
work.
Natasha put some
Some
work
of
into it as
realistic
well.
touches are mine, but major aspect of the work is his. So the front of the entrance, I don't know, this is like, I don't know where to
We can
start.
just start right here. It's
How
perfect.
about autumn?
There's the autumn piece. Here we go. There's autumn. We talk about seasons. There's autumn. So again, this is all constantly still in transformation. All these pieces. I always add something there. So, but I do like to draw females and sculpt females and faces and everything. So I love to sculpt faces. I like to draw portraits and anything that is beautiful. I enjoy.
Yeah, truly.
My expression a lot of times of female bodies and female beauty versus John expression of the emotions
Right.
and troubles
So
in art.
this stuff up here, if you want to know, these are things that I've collected traveling around the world. Some of it's Peruvian hand-carved work from St. Joseph's Cathedral in Lima. Some of this is Jamaican. Picked it up on the side of the road from a Jamaican guy carving it with a machete. This came from India. These are Indonesian, right here, Balinese actually. And they're sort of like, this guy sits at your door. He's probably, I'm sure by now people know these things. He sits by your door, and if you look at his expression, you can tell whether he's happy or not with the people that walk in. He looks happy right now.
That's good.
And these are, like I said, just things that have been picked up. There's some Matryoshka dolls up there that are full of all the way with the internal dolls, and there's like, I think like 50 of them inside each one.
Wow.
So, and some pieces from Saudi Arabia and Middle East and Asia, different places I went. So,
Very cool.
pretty cool.
So some work in progress. So there is so much work. This is just the moon right now. The moon. We call it the moon. We don't have a space for it. Probably it will go on outside of the house.
Yeah. I kind of like her inside now.
And this is just funny pieces we make from clay, working on expressions of faces, working on.
I like to say that's either a Lare or a Penante.
It's no one, it's
Roman,
just, yeah, it's
Roman
just a
spirits of
guy.
the hearth, right? A
Ceramic.
hearth that sort of look after the home. They look
Oil
kind of
painting
ferocious sometimes,
here,
but they're
oil
actually
painting.
friendly.
This is from observation. This is one of the wonderful smelling, beautiful aromatic flowers as well. But it's oil painting. So this is dining room. Please don't film the ceiling. We just had an accident yesterday. And
Our electrician
the
stepped
electrician steps through the ceiling.
Oh, gosh.
So
Yikes.
we're happy.
John collects clocks. Lately, John should be talking about.
Yeah, I like clocks, and I like unusual clocks. And that one was pretty unusual. Oh, the emergency drinking water is Vietnam era. Emergency drinking water that in my last unit that I was at, we were going through and inspecting a bunch of our gear, and we found water from 1965. So I thought I'd hang on to it.
That's amazing.
Just for like this posterity.
Landscapes on the wall. This is our little altar in the center. This is like just landscapes, oil landscapes on the wall. Painted in different ways.
Talk about this altar.
This is like our little altar. So obviously Mary and Jesus in the middle. Stained glass piece of rose behind. And we just finished the trim around the window. It has also sunburst, but it's hard to see right now because it's not painted yet. And gargoyles, those gargoyles in front of Mary, those actually are on a cathedral in France and Paris.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, yeah. It's gargoyles from Notre Dame. So, and just different art pieces we make through the years. Landscapes, another landscape here.
And did you paint that?
This is all mine, yeah.
Everything. All this.
But now we're going to my father's piece, and this is my father's actually piece of art. I told you he was an artist and sculptor, glass blower. And this is his painting that I grew up next to. Basically, I was born underneath of the painting.
Wow.
Practically. Remember it since my childhood, since I opened my eyes. Remember that painting. So, this is another little room here. We have it set up as a little art exhibit, and this is a lot of different crazy stuff here. So, and if we move forward, you will see a lot of erotic art in this house that I paint. Just nudes, a lot of different nudes, and I enjoy it. My husband enjoys it. Why not? It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
And if you go forward, the next kind of half nude portrait, that one, I call it the world upside down because you see the landscape inside of that painting is upside down, and the ladies kind of like looks like she's floating around in some kind of unusual box, maybe. I don't know.
I kind of think like it was like a cabin, right?
Yeah, like
In the sky,
trapped, and the
kind of,
world is upside down. That's what I was talking about. If you don't like something, turn it upside down. This is what happened to one of my paintings.
I love it.
I turned it upside down and I painted over it.
I love
So
it.
that's an upside down world. So on this side, I like this painting on the bottom here. It doesn't have display yet, the good display yet. But this is kind of dreaming. The work on the bottom, I call it dreaming. So you can obviously see there's a lady laying, dreaming about whatever you can think of. Everybody can imagine their own dreams. So again, it's kind of like moody painting of the nude, a little bit unfinished, but my model disappeared, so I couldn't finish. So this is expression on this side, expression of both of us, John and me. This
Let's start off this one over here.
the big canvases.
Okay, let me.
John, do you want to talk from
Yeah, let me get out of the light way. Here we go.
Yeah.
So this is actually, this piece is, I call it Quixote's Windmill. So it's kind of based on the Don Quixote stories from Cervantes. And Cervantes, not Dumas. Sorry. Anyway, it's sort of like the expression of like what would drive a person mad looking at a windmill, and it's sort of that idea of the monsters that he saw in the windmills that he would attack. So it's just sort of based on, like I said, it's based on Don Quixote. I had a few more pieces, but I never liked them that much, and that was my favorite one, so I left that one.
That's great.
The second one here. It's just sort of the dichotomy. I don't really have a good name for it, but it is the dichotomy between what can happen to you on a day, where you start off your day feeling cheerful and warm and happy, and then something occurs like right around the middle of the day, and suddenly you're just sad and depressed, and you just can't, you can't focus anymore. The only thing coming out are tears. So the arrows represent just sort of the direction of reality, how it can be in an upward motion, and then reality can turn on you in an instant and become incredibly down. So this piece is named, it's called Lady Luck, and it represents sort of the idea of a woman. You can see the woman in the portrait, and this is where Natasha did a lot of the work. She's there. It's a combination. If you look, there's oil pastel, and then there's not oil pastel. There's actually things that are done in acrylic. So Natasha added this crazy cat that I love in here. Man, it's so cool. And the lady that you see in the center, this is Natasha added this much to it to give it like a personality. And there's also like a hidden face on one side of it. On the left, you can see the eye if you look. You'll see so many pieces that's come together into one piece. There's also a central figure that is crucified to a tree, who is obviously bleeding profusely from the heart. And there's sort of a terrified person up at the top, trying to render aid and save the person. And this piece over here which says "Let Go" is just sort of the last thing that I wrote on that piece.
I love it.
Yeah. This is called Peace Inside of My Beast. And I'll let the viewers actually make their own minds up about that piece. It's just a very...
I call it guitarist.
Yeah.
because if you see it, you kind of can have a hint of the person playing guitar there. But you see heart there, there are realistic elements there, you see some beast, you see some explosions of stars, starbursts. It's a combination of both of John and my mind.
So it has a central sort of like physical aspect or a 3D aspect, which is the Orion Nebula. That's the stars at the top, Orion's belt, and then down at the bottom. It has the Orion stars placed pretty accurately, astronomically speaking. And then it has this goofy piece in the center that represents the actual nebula.
Very cool.
And then there's the big purple monster that sort of has my head in its mouth.
Yeah.
Those are aspects that I worked fleshed out that Natasha actually added the pink markings to.
Very cool.
Brought it out. This is a self-portrait, 2012. Not much I can say about it. And that's a self-portrait, 2007. I'm going to turn this light around because this is an interesting piece. This is pretty much the last of my work that I want to show. So this is called Man on Fire. And I'll just let the viewer figure that one out as well.
And what materials did you use for
That
this?
is aluminum foil straight out of an Alcoke.
That's awesome.
Aluminum can, or a dispenser. And this is oil pastel, the entire thing. Aside from that is oil pastel. Oh, and thumbtacks. So this is the amusement park ride for the tour. We'd like to welcome you into our bedroom and give you a look at some of the art that we have created for ourselves.
So this is 21 and up if you're viewing at home.
This is a really beautiful red piece that Natalia did.
It's oil painting.
Yeah.
It's oil painting, and it was just inspired by feeling.
I agree.
This is also just fantasy. It's a three-piece
Set. We call it the Rose Queen.
Rose Queen Garden.
Yeah. Garden.
What girls can do alone.
What girls do when guys aren't around.
And how long did you guys, like, what would a painting like this one or that one, like, how long does that take you?
That's a living painting. That thing could go on and on.
It's not the time consumed. It's not the time we're talking about. We're talking about mastery here. And skill and getting it right.
So.
Perfect.
On the average, something like that can take a month or two.
It can take years if you depends.
The large oil piece, I would say, is the more elaborate and required a lot more time. These pieces, probably about a week each, Tasha? From sketch
I
to-
wouldn't say it because I'm quick, but
That's
I'm
true.
skilled.
Yeah.
So, because some paintings go quickly with me, so
Very true.
it can be a couple hours and that can be done.
Very true.
So some go slower. So it's just different feelings, sexual feelings, and sculpture, and then paintings. So, just different expressions. Like I said, I love female body. I like female form.
form,
I'm an
yeah.
artist. I appreciate the any form. So
This
I
is
play with
another
the
one from the
form.
Rose
I
Queen
distort
series.
a little bit the form,
Yeah.
not make it too ugly. So I kind of like this piece is try to make just decorative. That's why they're a little bit flat, but they don't have much dimensions. But the main idea was to just deliver the message.
Yeah.
So there's another one right
We call that one
there.
Spider-Man and Mary Jane.
This work actually glows in the dark.
Oh wow, UV, I
We
guess.
don't have right now the black lights,
yeah.
but it's incredible effect when they glow in the dark. This one is very pretty when it glows. There's a third piece for the Rose Garden ladies. Those are still playing girls. So, and again, sculptures. We we in the past we were hanging the sculptures up so they can lay in different positions. So kind of very interesting to move them around. Or
we can
flip
hang 'em.
them and hang
Yeah,
them.
can
Yeah,
hang 'em up.
it's really cool. We have another sculpture like that right here on the other side of the bed here. Another kind of clay sculpture. But right now it's laying like that. But you can also sit her down, and she can even hold the candle. She can even hold the candle if you like flip her around, for example, and sit her like that.
Very cool.
So they made to be
Actually
flipped.
composed either one of mine.
They made to be flipped around. So that's pretty much, and we have
bathroom.
one
We have one
more
more piece in the bathroom.
in the bathroom. So it's another piece that actually glows in the dark. It's another sexual piece. Glows in the dark. Also incredible effect with glowing. Don't have it yet because we're in our lights.
So how do we find you guys? We've come to the end of the tour. People want to attend the art school, or maybe they want to buy some art, or just maybe they want to order their own gargoyles from you guys, or whatever it is. Let us know.
Maybe a little Russian city.
Yeah, exactly.
Natasha's artschool.com, okay, is the best place to reach us on the web. www.natashasartschool.com, one word, Natasha's Art School. And then on Facebook, we have Natalia's Art Academy, Austin, Texas. And that's all just, Natalia's Art Academy, Austin, Texas. You should be able to find us that way.
Website also gives a link to the Facebook anyway. So
Right.
the website itself, natashasartschool.com, leads you to the Facebook website either way.
Perfect. We'll say goodbye to everybody at home.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
keep
I
on
hope
rocking,
you enjoyed
man.
it.
Punk rock isn't dead, it just goes to bed earlier now.
Thank you.